Okay, we're starting this practice lying down. If you want to, you can put your blindfold on. Just know that about halfway through the practice, we're going to transition to a setting up posture. So find your comfortable position, lying down with something soft beneath your knees to support your lower back, and some sort of cushion behind your head. And we can begin by placing our hands on our bellies. And just to help us settle in, let's take several deep breaths in and out. Feeling the belly expand on the in-breath and collapse on the exhale. A couple more times. And if you want to, you could either leave your hands where they are or put them at your sides. If your hands tend to fall asleep by being on your belly too long, you can just place them by your side. And we're going to bring our attention to our face and skull to begin with. So just notice your jaw. Make sure that it's not clenched, that your teeth are not grinding against each other. So let the jaw fall open. And basically, as we inhale now, we're going to focus on our face and jaw. And that includes the forehead and the temples as well. As we breathe in, just notice any tension in this area. And as you exhale, invite your face to relax and soften. As you soften, you might notice areas that remain tense. So when you inhale again, bring your awareness to those areas, and as you exhale, invite them to soften. And really just by noticing them, that is the invitation. By paying attention to them and breathing out, just provokes the letting go, the relaxation. We'll just do this for a few more moments, breathing into any tight areas in the face, especially the eyes and the muscles behind the eyes, and then exhaling, just letting go, softening those muscles. And now we can move our awareness to the rest of the surface of the skull, the scalp, and the crown of the head, the sides of the head, and the back of your skull, which is resting on a pillow or a cushion. Just notice any areas of tightness as you breathe in, exhaling, inviting those areas to soften. And just repeat for several more breaths. And now bring your attention down to the back of the neck, from the base of the skull to the tops of the shoulders. Breathing in, noticing tension. Breathing out, softening. And you might allow your head to move if it needs to. It might roll to the left or the right as you release the back of the neck muscles. Bring your awareness to the front, to the throat area. So beneath your jaw, down to your collarbones, especially noticing your vocal cords. Any tension there? Notice as you breathe in, breathing out, softening the throat. Bringing awareness now to the shoulders. And even though we're lying down, sometimes the shoulders can be tight so they're elevated above the ground or up towards our ears. So just notice any tension. Maybe just one of them is more tight than the other. Breathe in. And out. Align the shoulders to feel heavy and loose and relaxed. Notice as you release the shoulders that your neck may also feel more soft, more released. Because the neck muscles connect directly to the shoulders. So do 2 or 3 more breaths for the shoulders. Now bring your attention to your upper arms, your elbows, and your forearms out to the wrists. As you bring your attention there, you might notice an urge to change the position of your arms, and that's fine. You can adjust them so they're more comfortable. Now look for any tension in the upper arms or forearms. Breathe in. And out, releasing that tension. And do this 2 or 3 more times. And bringing our awareness to our hands and fingers. First, check the position of your hands. They might be like in a fist or gripping tightly. But check, how would they like to be? What is a position that is softer And it's not always about stretching out your palms and fingers. You could curl your fingers slightly, and that might be the most relaxing position. And now scan your hands and fingers for tension. Breathe in. And out, softening the hands. So do 2 or 3 more breaths like this for the hands. Now bring our attention to the upper torso, so the chest and breast tissue, your heart, your lungs, and your upper back and shoulder blades resting on the ground. Scan all these areas for tension. And breathe in. And out, softening, releasing the tension. Scanning these areas again. Breathing in. And out, softening. So I'll do 3 or 4 more breaths in this area. Now bring your attention to the lower half of the torso from the right just beneath the chest to include the belly down to your navel, your belly button, out to the sides, and then all the organs inside, the intestines, and to the lower back. And also the mid-back where it's touching the ground. Scan these areas inside and out. Locate any area of tension. And breathe in. And then out, softening with your intention. And then repeat the process for 3 or 4 more breaths. Now bring our awareness lower, so beneath the belly button, beneath the navel, to the pubic bone, then the sex organs, inside and outside, the perineum, anus, buttocks, and the back of the hips where they're touching the ground, and your entire pelvic region, scanning for any tension. And after noticing, just breathe in and out, softening these areas. And then repeat the process for 4 or 5 more breaths. And now we bring our attention lower to the thighs, all the way down to the knees. So scanning the skin, the soft tissue, all the way into the bone, from where your thighs attach to the sides of the pelvis, down to the knees, scanning for any tension. And having identified it, breathe in. And out, releasing, relaxing. And do this for 2 or 3 more breaths in the thighs. Now we bring our attention from the knees down to the ankles. So feeling our calf muscles, our shins, and the bones. Scanning for tension, breathing in and out, releasing, softening the lower leg. And then repeating the process for 2 or 3 more breaths. Now moving our attention to our feet and our toes, scanning every area there, from the heels to the soles, the instep, the tops of the feet, each toe, and the muscles in between the long bones inside the feet. Just noticing any tension or dullness. Deep breath in and out, softening the feet and the toes. And repeating this for the feet for 2 or 3 more breaths. And now we're going to expand our awareness throughout the whole body, from the feet up. So first we go back to the feet, feel how they feel. Then come up to the lower legs, feel how they feel while you're still feeling your feet. Now we move up to include the upper thighs and the knees. We're still feeling our lower legs and our feet. Stretching our awareness further up to include the pelvic region, the buttocks, the hips, the groin. Moving further up to feel the belly, our sides, our hips, and the lower back, and all the organs and tissues inside. Moving our attention further up to the upper part of the belly, the midsection, the mid-back. Moving further up to include the upper back, the shoulder blades, the rib cage, the lungs, the heart, the chest muscles, the breast tissue, up to the armpits, further up to the collarbones. And now expanding to include the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, fingers, and thumbs. Expanding upward from the shoulders to include the neck, the back of the neck, the throat in front, the vocal cords, all the way up to the base of the skull and up underneath the jaw. And now expanding upward to include the jaw, the cheeks, the lips and tongue, your nose, the eyes, forehead and temples, the ears, and the scalp muscles and scalp tissue wrapped around the head, all the way up to the crown of the head. So now our awareness is spread throughout the whole body. We feel everything at once. And as you're aware of everything at the same time, notice the areas calling to your attention. The areas that might feel numb or dark or that are in pain or feel sore or tired. And then take a deep breath in and out, softening those regions. And let's do this for 5 more breaths. Scanning the whole body, identifying areas that need attention, breathing into them, exhaling, inviting them to soften, release, and relax. And now we're going to transition to a sitting posture. So move slowly. Give yourself about a minute or so to transition, and we'll continue after you've had enough time to move into your sitting posture. And don't forget to put on your blindfold after you've moved into your sitting posture. Now we're going to repeat the process we just went through lying down, but while sitting up. And so we start with the face again, checking that your jaw is not clenched. And just briefly scan the rest of your face, forehead, eyes. Remember that behind the blindfold, your eyes can be open if that feels more relaxing for them. Softening the cheeks, the nose and mouth, and your tongue. You might subconsciously be holding tension in the tongue, so let it just float loosely in your mouth. Don't press it forcefully in any way. Just let it be loose. Having scanned your face and your jaw, look for any remaining tension. Breathe in and out, letting go. And now expand your awareness to the top of your skull, the sides of the skull, the back of the head, to the base of the skull. Scan quickly now for areas of tension. Breathe in and out, releasing tension in the skull. Now let your awareness move to the back of the neck, the sides, and the throat in front, including your vocal cords. Scan for any areas of tension there. Breathe in and out, softening the neck. Remember that if your head is drooping too far forward, it's going to pull on the back of the neck. So balance your skull between the shoulders to keep the neck loose. Now bringing our attention to our shoulders, arms, hands, fingers, and thumbs. You may have subconsciously sat up and one of your shoulders is pulled up towards your ear, or they both might be. That's an obvious area to check for. So having scanned your shoulders and arms and hands, deep breath in and out, softening this area. Now bring your awareness to your upper torso, so the chest in front and the shoulder blades in back and everything in between and on top, including your heart. How does your heart feel? And breathing in and out, softening the upper torso. Now moving to the lower torso, the abdomen, your belly. As always, making sure that it's moving freely on every inhale and exhale. That as you breathe in, it's expanding. And as you exhale, it's contracting slightly. Feeling the sides and the mid-back and lower back. Noticing tension inside your organs and in the spine. One thing you'll notice is if your lower back feels extra tight, you might be leaning forward slightly. So see if you can lean back just enough to feel your back muscles soften a little bit more because you're more balanced over your hips. Now, still noticing any tension, take a deep breath in and out. Now bring our attention to our hips, buttocks, pelvic region, groin, sex organs, the pelvic floor, and all the organs inside. Scan for tension, breathing in and out, softening the pelvic bowl. And now we can let our awareness spread through the upper thighs, the knees, the lower legs, your ankles, your feet, and your toes all at once. Just feel everything beneath where your legs attach at the hips. Again, if you're leaning forward too much with your torso, your legs are going to be doing a lot of the work, pushing off the ground to keep you upright. So when you're balanced just right, your legs will be able to soften naturally. And having checked your posture, scan for tension in the legs and the feet. Breathe in and out, softening the legs and the feet. And now let your awareness permeate your whole body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head and everything in between. The rest of the practice will be spent just by paying attention to your body. Your whole body is the point of attention. Not just the feeling of the breath in and out, but how your whole body feels. And what you want to do is anytime you notice some increasing tension or leftover tension, when you breathe in, notice it, and as you exhale, invite that area to soften. And then breathe naturally for a while, just feeling your whole body, being present to every sensation. And anytime tension creeps up, just exhale and invite it to soften. And we'll continue this way until the end of the session, at which point I'll ring the bell. And this concludes the session.